Erev Tov, everyone. So tonight I want to speak a little about a thought of in the Megillah and Esther. Tomorrow night we'll talk about the end of Chumash Shmos, God willing. You will notice in the Megillah that Esther always says, Nafshi b'shelasi v'ami b'vakashasi. So there are two words that are used for a request. Nafshi b'shelasi, that I request that I be left alive. V'ami b'vakashasi, and my bakosha, my plea is that my people be saved. So the Megillah is written by Ruach HaKodesh. That's why it's included as one of the 24 books of the Tanakh. That was the difference between the Chazal felt that the book of the Maccabees was not written by Ruach HaKodesh, and therefore there is no book for Hanukkah. Even though Hanukkah we say Hallel, and it has to do with the Beit HaMikdash and Eretz Yisrael, but there's no book for it. Purim, which is Mechutz Lawrence, and we don't say Hallel, nevertheless has a Megillah, and once it has a Megillah Baruch HaKodesh, so then the Meforshim over all of the ages have delved into the book to obtain lessons. So one of the ideas that I've mentioned to you often is that there are no synonyms in Hebrew, that every Hebrew word has its own value and existence by itself. So therefore, when Esther says, Nafshi b'shelasi, v'ami b'vakashasi, shelasi is one thing, bakashasi is another thing. What is the difference between the two? They're both requests. So there's a lot of literature on this, but I want to mention two ideas. One is Rienus and Abishitz from the Yaros Dvash. It was the Rav in Ahu, Altoona, Hamburg, Weidensbeck, that tri-community. So he says, Shelasi is, so to speak, a temporary fix, an immediate help. He says that's the word shoel that we have. If you borrow something from somebody, it's only temporary. It's not yours. So when you ask for life, it's temporary, because even when it's granted to you, it's not open-ended. It's not something that you have forever. So therefore, when it comes to dealing with life itself and existence, so she said, Nafshi b'shelasi. Right now, he wants to kill me, Haman. Save me from Haman, that I should not be killed. So even though that's only a temporary fix, and nevertheless, that's what's necessary. But she asked for more. She asked, Ami b'vakashasi. Vakosha is something that's permanent, something that is unlimited in time and circumstance. So therefore, the ness of Purim is a continual ness. We say that the Seder night, Shebachol Dor V'Dor Omni Maleinu L'Chal Ha'Seinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matzilenu Miyadam. So that is a ness that's not temporary, that has eternal values to it, that lasts from generation to generation. And we say that in the end, the prayer at the end, and we say that Ribono Shalom Tikvosam B'chol Dor V'Dor Yeshuosam Yisol Netzach B'Tikvosam L'Dor Dor. It's all permanent, we're asking. So that's what she asked. So that's one stream of understanding what's the difference between Shelasi and Bakashasi. There's a second stream, which is attributed to the Maggid of Dubna. It appears in his Sefer Kol Yaakov, which is a commentary to the Megillah. You should know there are more svarim on the Megillah than on anything else, because the Megillah is really it's a continual spring of ideas that in every generation find life and find meaning, certainly in ours. So the Maggid says as follows: Nafshi b'shelosi v'ami b'vakashasi. So he says that she'ela is the means to the end. It's not the end. It's the means to the end. And the bakosha is the end, is what I really want. So in order, for instance, to get the Ami B'Vakoshosi, first she has to ask, Nafshi B'Shelosi, I have to live. If I live, I'll write the Megillah, and then the purpose will be accomplished. But my life is not the end in itself. It's a means towards the end. So that has to do generally in Jewish thought, that everything that we do are involved in bringing about an end, a positive thing. When it comes to mitzvahs, though, so there we have a difference. There, the mitzvah itself becomes the end. Chazal say, schar mitzvah, mitzvah. The mitzvah itself is the end. We don't understand it. We don't know how it works. But we look at a mitzvah, that's a means by which I fulfill the Torah. Or it's a means by which I become closer to the Ribono Shalom. Or it's a means by which I fulfill my purpose in life. But that's short-sighted. The mitzvah itself is the end also. In the performance of the mitzvah lies the end. That's why Chazal say, for instance, Karkafta the Lomonach tefillin, a Jewish head that never wore tefillin, so it's no head, doesn't exist. Because tefillin is not a means, tefillin is the end itself. That's why you have a head, so to speak, so you can put tefillin on it. So that's what she asked. Nafshi b'shelosi, give me the means to the end, which is life, survival, parnosa, whatever we want. But Ami b'vakoshosi, that's the end. The end is that there should be a Jewish people. There should be a Klal Yisrael. There should be the ability to be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim. And that's why the Ness of Purim is so special. Because I'll say, Persume Nisa. You have to spread the idea of the Ness. That the Rebbeinu Shalom does Nisim for us. In our rational world, we don't deal with it that way. You listen to the news, or you read the newspaper, or whatever, you don't see Nisim, even though every day is a Ness here. Every day is miraculous here. But it takes an attitude to see it. So therefore, that is what Esther requested, that in heaven they should grant her this attitude, that it should always be Nafshi b'shelosi, v'ami b'vakoshasi, and that's the difference between the two verbs, the two nouns that are used to describe what her petition to heaven was. You know, there was a story, true, that people said about their rabbi that all year long he says Purim Torah, and on Purim he says serious. So I said serious, okay? Rabbi Chananya ben Akashi Omer Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakot Yisrael V'Chachir B'Lahem Torah Mitzvah Shenemar. I don't know if I'll take some on Sitko Yagil Torah beyond here.